You shouldn't be forced to care about Charlie Kirk because Donald Trump never gave a shit about that man, and he made it incredibly damn clear at his memorial service today, in which Donald Trump was supposed to be eulogizing a guy who he claimed to be his buddy, even though he cared more about his ballroom than his supposed friend, with a speech honoring a memory that Republicans have all but made up. But instead of doing so, Donald Trump focused on autism, tariffs, and his political opponents. Not only was that bad, but the contrast between what Trump said and what Charlie Kirk's widow said was a complete embarrassment, as the president made it all about himself, as he always does, and we're going to get into it. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video, and if you haven't already and you enjoy our channel, to hit that subscribe button, because it goes a long way in supporting our work. Now, before we get into what was clearly the most embarrassing moment of this speech, I want to start where surprisingly Trump did, with his big announcement.
It was Charlie who helped unite MAGA, and you know what M-A-H-A is? That's right, make America healthy again. And tomorrow we're going to have one of the biggest announcements, really medically, I think, in the history of our country. We're going to be doing it with Bobby and Oz and all of the professionals. I think you're going to find it to be amazing. I think we found an answer to autism. How about that? Autism. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking in the Oval Office in the White House about autism, how it happens, so we won't let it happen anymore, and how to get at least somewhat better when you have it, so that parents can help their child, their beautiful child. That's a big one. I've been bugging everybody over there. Get the answer to that.
We have been told time after time that Donald Trump is in mourning, that he is lashing out, that he is expanding his authoritarian project, cracking down on speech because he is so incredibly outraged, that Jimmy Kimmel simply stating facts about MAGA, trying to pretend that the alleged Kirk assailant was some left-wing lunatic, calling out that bullshit lie. That was so insensitive that Donald Trump melted down. He couldn't contain himself, and neither could millions of viewers of Kimmel's show across the country. And that's why he had his show canceled. Not because, of course, Donald Trump can't stand being made fun of, and Kimmel had apparently a big Epstein monologue coming. No, that wasn't it. It was because people are so upset. But Donald Trump is not upset to talk about Charlie Kirk in his Charlie Kirk eulogy. He has to focus on the big announcement he has coming soon. Are you kidding me? Like, who wants to listen to this? Well, apparently some folks in the crowd who cheered on Trump as he went on this insane rant, although some were noticeably silent.
Just like Charlie and Erica made Turning Point hot, we are looking at a country that has the chance to attain a level like never before. Tariffs are making us rich again, richer than anybody ever thought was possible. And the only one challenging them are people that hate our country or foreign countries that are paying a price, because they did the same thing to us for years. They took advantage of us, but we're making money. We're becoming richer and richer. And we're taking care of our people better and better when we do that. And we can take care of other countries better and better. But we're doing unbelievably well. The tariffs have really been a hold. The election was big.
So in classic Trump fashion, he is talking about himself. He is lying about the economy. He is losing what little bits of his mind he has left. But surprisingly, there were some moments of a memorial for a man I can't stand that I think were actually important to moving forward and healing this country. And one of them came from Charlie Kirk's widow, and it is so important what she said in contrast to Donald Trump's insane meltdown.
I forgive him. The answer to hate is not hate. The answer we know from the gospel is love, and always love.
This, I think, is an important message. Now, if the shooter, as MAGA initially alleged, was a trans American, was a person of color, do I think Erica Kirk would be forgiving them? No. But that is besides the point. The point is, this is the message that we need. We should be coming together. There should be unity. Left, most importantly, right, should be condemning political violence. But what did Donald Trump go out and do? In an embarrassing fashion, to the desire of the woman who lost her husband, he said this.
In that private moment on his dying day, we find everything we need to know about who Charlie Kirk truly was. He was a missionary with a noble spirit and a great, great purpose. He did not hate his opponents. He wanted the best for them. That's where I disagreed with Charlie. I hate my opponent, and I don't want the best for them. I'm sorry. I am sorry, Erica. But now Erica can talk to me and the whole group, and maybe they can convince me that that's not right, but I can't stand my opponent.
Erica Kirk says, forgive the shooter, let's come together, moment of unity, and Donald Trump gets up there and says, I hate my political opponent. I hate them. Now, you do not have to feel bad for the Kirk family. You do not have to feel bad that a woman who married a disgusting, vile bigot no longer has that disgusting, vile bigot as her husband. I'm just laying out the facts of the case. You don't have to feel bad for her. You don't. You should not be forced to, because I know if you're watching this video, you have advocated for gun violence prevention, sensible legislation to end this epidemic in the country that Republicans have ignored. You have pushed back against a culture of hate that promotes and excuses political violence that comes from Donald Trump's movement. So I do not expect an apology from you. I'm not demanding it. I don't even think I need to. But it is clear that this woman is in pain. And Donald Trump sees that and he wants to exploit it. That's what he does. And then he goes on to lie to further cement his narrative.
Many of these people, by the way, are paid a lot of money to do this. They're agitators. They're paid agitators. Remember that? When you see they all have the same beautifully printed sign, every sign is identical, comes out of a top-level print shop. That's not the signs that are made in somebody's basement. Those are paid for by very bad people, and hopefully...
Violence is not coming from the left. It's not. That is a fact. I know Donald Trump is really enjoying ignoring those right now, but that is just a simple fact. And no matter how hard he has tried, quite literally launching a new investigation on top of the first investigation of the alleged assailant, Donald Trump and Kash Patel are looking into any link to leftist or trans or liberal groups, and they can't find them. Not a shred of evidence that this shooter was inspired by some radical left-wing ideology, as they claim. But still, this is their focus. Erica Kirk said, forgive this person, and Donald Trump is still trying to exploit that day. That is embarrassing. That is disgusting that this is what he is doing at a memorial service. I understand Donald Trump doing it from the Oval Office. I understand him doing it all the time and on Truth Social and da-da-da-da-da. But look how little he cares. He does not care at all. Not a little bit. He's using this. Listen to him right here.
It's a terrible thing. Because you can't let that happen. You can't let that happen. Can't let it happen to a country. The Department of Justice is also investigating networks of radical left maniacs who fund, organize, fuel, and perpetrate political violence. And we think we know who many of them are.
The DOJ is going after political opponents, liberal groups. That is a very vague term, liberal groups. What does that even mean? That fund and incite and I don't even know what other ways Donald Trump likes to describe these organizations, but they love these vague terms because they want to be able to go after anybody and everybody who they don't like. They're trying to cast a very wide net. They want to scare us. Why? Because that's what they're after. Intimidation. This isn't about healing. This isn't about coming together. Donald Trump doesn't care about Charlie Kirk. He never did. He will exploit everyone around them, even when they are 6 feet under. Donald Trump does not care. His wife, his ex-wife, is a golf course, for God's sakes. You think he cares about Charlie Kirk? No, which is why I am disgusted and disappointed and disheartened by any Democrat who voted to go along with the lionizing of this man. What an idiotic thing to do. They're trying to exploit any semblance of care that they can get out of the average American to have them distracted from the expansion of their authoritarian project. Stephen Miller is literally laying it out right here.
The light will defeat the dark. We will prevail over the forces of wickedness and evil. They cannot imagine what they have awakened. They cannot conceive of the army that they have arisen in all of us. Because we stand for what is good, what is virtuous, what is noble.
Are we serious? Like, he's saying the quiet part out loud. They're making it clear what they want to do. They want to crack down on their enemies. They want to suppress the speech of people they don't like. They want to intimidate you out of saying the truth, saying what Jasmine Crockett has repeated again and again, that this man was a bigot. He was no civil rights leader. He didn't even care about free speech. He cared about debate for profit. As we actually try to fight for real change to keep people safe, they want impediments to that. So I will not be going along with this facade that Donald Trump is putting up about his care for Charlie Kirk, because it does not exist. It isn't real. And I will not allow it to become a figment of the collective political imagination. Someone needs to push back against this, and it seems like too many Democrats are afraid to.